And then finally, the runner-up for this section is Plickers, and I love Plickers. So Plickers gives every single student a separate QR code. And the nice thing about it is they all look different. Then on the QR code, it will say A, B, C, or D on the different sides. And when you ask questions, so you'll build out your question set, just you as the teacher doing it on your laptop, okay? And then you ask your children the question, it's displayed on the board. They all flip their QR codes to what they believe is correct, and then you use your phone to scan their QR codes. It is great because then on the board, it will immediately show you how many are right and wrong. Not who got them right and wrong, but how many are right and wrong. And so it's an instant visual for the students. It's nice because the kid next to you doesn't know which one you chose, A, B, C, or D, right? Because your QR code is different. And they really enjoy flipping and using that QR code. I zoomed in a little bit, but you'll see all of their names will pop up in green if they got it right, red if they got it wrong. So you visually as a teacher are like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I have 6 kids that didn't get it right. Do I need to modify and adjust? Pros significantly outweigh the cons. I love Plickers. Huge pro, if you are in a school that doesn't have one-to-one technology or the Wi-Fi is a little bit spotty, this tool only needs a teacher to have a cell phone and a teacher to have internet access. That's it. So you can still have your kids engage in a tech-friendly activity without having to actually get them tech. So that's a huge pro. It's extremely easy to use. There's a lot of pre-built questions that you can pull from, and children feel really safe guessing because no one else in the class knows what they're guessing. The cons, you are limited in the amount of question sets you can create unless you go for the premium version. But again, it's extremely inexpensive and 100% worth it. I absolutely love Plickers. I'm not going to read these out to you, but these are the honorable mentions of not only ones that I have used, but I also reached out to my teacher community on LinkedIn and asked for their suggestions. So anything that is written in the honorable mention slides has been tried and true from a teacher, not some expert telling you they're good. These are actual teacher recommendations. And again, you'll have a link to this so you can look through and explore all of those as well. Second set is comprehension. And the way that we used to do this was through worksheets, read and response, or videos. And now we're taking that and putting it into the tech space. So the very first and my favorite tech tool for comprehension is Edpuzzle. Edpuzzle takes a pre-made YouTube video, so any video that you find on YouTube, and you can go in and pepper in questions that your children will have to answer. It's great because if your school uses Canvas, it integrates directly with Canvas. Here is the Edpuzzle that I created about bananas. So this was a YouTube video about bananas. Down here, you can see that I've put 5 or 6 questions about bananas. As it plays, the children cannot skip forward. So they have to watch the video, or at least they have to have the video on. Who knows if they watch it, but information will come up. And then a question will appear right here, a multiple choice question. And they will have to answer the question and then hit submit before they're able to move on. If they weren't listening or weren't paying attention, then they can rewatch just that chunk in order to hear the information again before submitting their answer. If you are using something like Canvas, it automatically integrates all of the scores right into Gradebook, which is so easy and hassle-free. And if you're not using Canvas, it will give you a printout of what questions the kids got right and wrong. All right, give me 1 second here. Perfect. Oh, yay, someone said that they use Plickers. That's excellent. I'm so happy. That's excellent. Okay, great. Thank you for sharing. That was awesome. Okay, so this is a fantastic resource because 1, the YouTube videos are already pre-made. 2, our kids spend a ton of time on YouTube, so much time on YouTube, that they're comfortable with it. They're like, oh yeah, YouTube videos. I love YouTube. And Easy to integrate. Let's see here. Okay, so how it works, I explained it already to you, but just again with this visual, you go into Edpuzzle, search any YouTube video that is available to you on YouTube. You load it into Edpuzzle, and then as you watch, you'll hit the pause button, you'll come up to the top, you'll go to the question tab, and you can put true, false questions, multiple choice, or you can put a fill in the blank. Obviously, fill in the blank does not get graded in Gradebook. You have to go through and grade it on your own, but open-ended questions are always better because they encourage critical thought. You can cut the video, which is something new. They didn't have that originally, but in case the video is 14 minutes and you really only need your kids to watch 6, cut it right down. So again, fantastic tool, easy to use, very quick. A runner-up to Edpuzzle is Flipgrid. And honestly, they're matched. They're both so good. It was hard to choose. But Flipgrid encourages video responses. And why I love this is because it gets you away from the true, false, yes, no, multiple choice. And it asks the kids to form real opinions, real thoughts, and then be able to discuss it with you. Another pro is some kids really don't like writing. They don't like typing. They don't like writing. This is a good elementary activity, even and middle school and high school, but because they just have to talk to you. They talk out their answers. What's nice about this is TikTok and Instagram and blogging is huge. And now they get to do that, but in an educational setting. It integrates with many LMS systems, which is nice. So I've used it plenty of times for an exit ticket or a quick homework assignment. Pop on and share with me what you thought about X. You give them a set recording time, and then they go on, they can record as many times as they want. So it's not them feeling anxious that they only have this one chance. They can re-record and re-record until they get something that they want. If you're saying, yeah, but my kids don't want to be on screen, they can put an emoji over their face in case they're nervous about that. So you'll just hear their voice, which is a great addition, very necessary. And then what's really nice is you can have a discussion. You can have a discussion. So kids will send out their video, and then another kid, if you encourage them to, can respond back, and they can have a dialogue that's in a safe space. They can record as many times. They can think about what they want to say before they have to answer. So it's super useful. I am showing you just quickly, like this is what it would look like as a teacher. You have your students, they talk to you, they give you their responses, and I had them all record 3 because it was part of an ongoing project and I wanted them to have check-ins with me, but it's just really nice. They can do it in the comfort of their own home, privacy of their own home. It's an excellent tool. Finally, the runner-up for this section would be BrainPop. BrainPop is excellent because it is the most well-rounded of all of the tools that we've used so far. Not only does it have interactive videos, quizzes, readings, worksheets, it has mind mapping activities, story writing activities. It gives the most comprehensive unit or lesson package out of any of the ones we've seen. A con would be that it is very elementary. You follow around this like little robot and his friend, and it's cute. They follow through all of the storylines, like it's always the robot and his friend, but it's a little elementary. So depending on how you do it with your children, my students were 13, and we joked about it being kind of like Dora the Explorer. Then they went on and they were totally fine because they knew that it was a little bit young, but it taught them the stuff it needed to teach them in a way that was easily accessible. So I used BrainPop a lot throughout the year, even in middle school. And as long as you frame it in a way that makes them think that like, oh yeah, Miss Stump knows that this is a little bit childish, they're here for it. They love the 2 characters. They enjoy the stories that get created. So this is great. Showing you how to use it, going from I'm currently teaching social studies, and you can type in any content. So Rome, which is what I was teaching. And then you go through and you're like, okay, cool, I'm in the Roman Republic. So you click that, and then they have a movie to watch, a quiz to take, mind mapping. You can have them make a movie, these cute little edited movies. You can have them code, you can have them do extra readings. It's a multitude of things in one click, in one house. You just Log on, click the pre-made stuff, and off you go. And they're really good lessons. The kids learn a lot from them. So it's not a waste of your time. It's a really well thought out program. And again, the only con that I can think of is that it is a little bit elementary for those of us that teach middle school. Again, honorable mentions, feel free to take a gander at those. I have all live links in my document that I'll send out at the end. Okay, and last but not least, we have retention. And retention in old school was study guides, projects, or repeated drill and kill. So how do we take retention and put it into the ed tech space? Most of you have used Quizlet before in the past. Quizlet offers free study sets that are online flashcards for children that give them that repeated drill and kill, but in a way that they can play games with it. They can do matching. They can do a gravity game, which they have to answer questions before different objects hit the ground. It takes a very old school concept and just, again, makes it a little bit more fun and engaging. On a teacher side, it's really great because you can play Quizlet Live, which is a competitive game. So if you've given them Quizlet for 2 weeks, let's say to study, then they come into your class and right before the test, you can play Quizlet Live. They have to answer enough questions in order to move their animal. It's a really engaging tool. The kids love it. It inspires them to study on Quizlet because they want to do well in the game afterward. If we go to see how it works over here, these are my pre-made flashcards. What's a peninsula? A peninsula, sorry. Didn't click it. There you go. A piece of land that is surrounded by water on 3 sides. So they are, one has the question, the word, and then the other one has obviously the definition. So the Greek mainland is a peninsula, right? And they're flipping just normal cards. What is really great about this, though, is that Quizlet uses AI technology. I love AI technology. And what that means is it has predictive text. So you go down here, you begin to type your term, M-O-N, and it's like, did you mean monarchy? Here's the definition. And then you start typing D-I-C, and they say dictatorship. Here's the definition. The predictive technology makes this so fast to build out any type of review. You can make a Quizlet within 3 to 5 minutes. Additionally, they have ways that you can copy and paste your terms, which is great, but this AI technology makes it so fast. You can also share Quizlets from different teachers, so that makes it really helpful. They have Quizlet banks from other teachers that have already taught these subjects, and that makes it really helpful. A runner-up for this would be Gimkit. Gimkit is great because it is the Kahoot and the Blookit to the extreme, the new level, the better gamified learning, again, in my personal opinion. It is an independent game. So they're quizzing themselves at whatever pace they choose to go at. So the kids that are a little bit less familiar will take longer. Whereas Kahoot, you have to wait for the entire class. Not this way. It's an independent game. It has a lot of strategy involved. It has money involved. You can reward others or take things away. It's a much more mature, much more real version of a game. It's a game, but in order to do well in the game, you have to get questions correct. Second reason I love Gimkit, they have pre-made, they're called question banks, and they are thousands of teachers who have already made questions, and you can go through and just type in one word, government, and then you have thousands of questions. You can add them individually, or if you're like, no, these look pretty good, you can add the full set. Within minutes, you have a fully built game, and that's all you have to do. Gimkit takes care of the rest. Other reasons why I love Gimkit, they have a variety of games. So they have humans versus zombies, their normal game, infinity mode, which is a Marvel version. They have teams. They have that weird game with the aliens that I don't remember what the kids called it. I really don't. Weird game with the aliens. They have a version like that. So even if you play Gimkit once a week, kids will never tire of it because there's a ton of different options. Because of time, I'm not going to show you, but the way that it works, a question appears, they have 4 answers. It looks similar to Kahoot in that way. But then once you've gained enough money, which you get more money per question, you can go and you can use that money strategy to help you, or to, discourage others, or to take money away from others. And it just adds another level that the kids really, really buy into. And then finally, my very last tech tool of the day is Canva. I am using Canva right now to present this to you. I love Canva for retention activities because it is posters on steroids. So Canva allows children to create, like I said, posters, storybooks, mind maps, worksheets. It allows them to create everything and anything they can imagine in a super intuitive way. I love PowerPoint. I think it's great. It's a little hard for children to navigate. Canva is so easy because all of the things that you would want, picture of a tree, background of a lake, different fonts, it's all in the platform. Whereas if you went to PowerPoint, you'd either have to Google a picture of a tree, or you'd have to go into the insert of the image. It's all on one screen. And it makes it so easy for children to create beautiful projects with honestly relatively low effort. And it makes even the most discouraged, disgruntled learner engage because they see just how simple a really solid project is. And they have thousands of templates you can use in order to get something that's pre-built. And then all you have to do is fill in a little bit of information and boom, you have a pretty project. You as a teacher can pre-build something. So like I did a Roman comic book and I had all of these different Roman characters with empty word bubbles. And then I shot it out to my students and they had to fill in the word bubbles with what made sense for the comic. So you can do that. You as a teacher can pre-build something and send it out. I had them do a Roman storybook, same way. I created 20 pages and then they had to fill in. I gave them the characters, they had to fill them in, put in backgrounds, put in speech bubbles. And it's just incredibly easy and the payoff is huge. So my kids have used Canva the entire year. They absolutely love it. A huge pro is right now in 2022, at least, it is free. It's free for teachers. It's free to have all of your students join. You can make classes. It's incredible. Canva is amazing. And this presentation that I did was built in Canva. So obviously you can upload videos as well. It does integrate, so you can add in comments and grades right into Canva. It integrates into your LMS systems, which is, again, beautiful and really good for timing. So that is it. I know that I really said a lot of things to you and you're probably way overwhelmed, but I have, and I'll stick it in the chat, I have this Google Doc, which has my presentation linked. Then I have my LinkedIn, I have my email, and then I have everything that I spoke about, as well as all of the honorable mentions. So if you want to dig deep on anything or you have questions for me, this document is the one that you want to go and access. So let me copy this link. I'll stick it in the chat. And let me, oh goodness, sorry, I'm working on multiple screens there. So there's the link. If you have any questions, please feel free to follow up. Definitely contact me via email or LinkedIn, even just to say hi. I would love to meet anyone that came to the presentation. And that is that. Thank you so much for joining me.
Rebecca, I have to say a couple of things that were going through my mind before we exit. First of all, I have been in ed tech a long time. I've watched a lot of presentations. I've never seen someone, the pace of your presentation was like magnificent. You just kept, I know you kept saying, I'm doing this fast, but there's nothing worse than sitting through a really slow presentation. So like the pace was amazing. You did the best job just going through a lot of products really quickly that I've ever seen anyone do. Like it was amazing. And I feel like everyone can leave this presentation being like, okay, I'm going to try that one. I'm going to try this one. I'm going to try that one. So I love the way you organized it. I loved the cadence of it. It was a phenomenal job. And I want to end with telling you that, so I started teaching, I saw Leona's here. I know she's been teaching for a while too, but my first year of teaching was, 2004. I was a full-time sub. And then when I was in grad school, and I started teaching in 2005. So a while back. And BrainPop, I was just like laughing because BrainPop was like probably the first like ed tech tool that I really used a lot in my classroom. And I was laughing because I taught third, fourth, and fifth, but like the characters are the same. It does have that kind of like goofy youthfulness to it, but it has really good content to this day. So I was really glad that you brought like old school BrainPop back up.
Yeah, it's withstood the test of time. Like
Yes.
I've used it for years and my kids love it every year. And
Yeah.
the content is so good. Like they really get what they need out of it, but they don't feel like they're learning, which is the best.
I
Like,
know. And it's
just, yeah.
It's amazing how these ed tech companies have really given us these tools for, especially when you were talking about retention. There's just so many tools. It's almost overwhelming, I think, these days, which is why I thought your presentation was phenomenal. I'm sure those that are attending feel the same. So thank you so much for your time today. Everyone reach out to Rebecca. I absolutely adore her.
Oh, thanks.
Excuse me. And we'll be seeing all of you later on this week. So thank you, Rebecca, and everyone. Take care.
All right. Have a good day.